Morning, everybody. Morning. How you doing? How you feeling? You guys look good. All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Henry M. Jackson School of International Studies Spring 2026 Convocation. My name is Danny Hoffman. I'm the director of the Jackson School. So let me begin, as we always do at our public events, by situating the Jackson School. We acknowledge that we are on Coast Salish territory, the traditional homelands of the Duwamish, Suquamish, Tulalip, Muckleshoot, and other indigenous peoples. The Jackson School understands that the international community includes sovereign American Indian tribes, First Nations, and indigenous peoples across the world. Now, it's a thrill and an honor to welcome you all in person, and those of you joining online, to this incredible day. Every convocation is special, but it feels like there's a special magic in coming together to celebrate and honor your remarkable achievements this year. So welcome to all of the students, parents, partners, children, and friends who are here to witness graduation for the class of 2026. For those of you who traveled long distances to be here, literally and figuratively, we're all grateful for your commitment to honoring your graduate. Now, as a school specializing in international studies, there's little that happens around the globe that does not touch us here on campus. We know that conflict and suffering that feel distant for some are intense personal realities for other members of our community. Whether we're talking about acute and ongoing crises in the Middle East or Eastern Europe, the slow violence of climate change, or the challenges facing our own domestic political institutions, including, of course, our universities, we're all dealing with a lot right now, doing our best to learn how to communicate with one another and how to make effective change in the world. So the class of 2026 is extraordinary. This day is marked as a transition from student to public servant, graduate student, scientist, or whatever pathway you choose. We recognize that this transition may not be easy, may not be certain, but we hope that the Jackson School has instilled you with the intellectual courage, the creativity, and the leadership tools to navigate today's world. The Jackson School, founded at the start of the last century, has persisted and grown through 2 world wars, multiple pandemics, and a sea of changes in government at home and abroad. And I am confident that you too will experience great change in the years to come. Now, today's convocation is a ritual with a long history. The Jackson School's mission of interdisciplinary education goes back 117 years. You're the latest generation of scholars to emerge from your time here with the skills necessary to become diplomats, activists, business, political, and military leaders, academics, artists, legal and health professionals. You'll be prepared to work anywhere in the world and eager to apply your expertise to pressing global issues that face us today. Since the beginning, students in the Jackson School have undertaken intensive study of global connections, historical contexts, local cultures, and national identities, and then used those same tools of research and critical thinking in whatever careers or personal journeys they undertake next. They've done so in multiple languages and from thousands of different individual perspectives. So this year, 150 of you will carry on that tradition of international and global engagement by leaving the Jackson School with a BA degree. 34 of you have completed an MA, including 4 of you who chose our 1-year option to complete the degree, and 2 of you have earned your PhD. That is a tremendous contribution to the legacy of international leadership associated with the Jackson School for over a century. So I'm very proud to say that the class of 2026 has more than earned the right to join the ranks of our alumni who have made a difference in the world. So let me give you a little sample of this year's class, let's try that again. Let me give you a little example of what this year's class accomplished in the academic year 2025-26. Collectively, 5,864 students enrolled in 214 distinct Jackson School courses. You studied abroad or conducted field research in Ecuador, China, Greece, Jamaica, Japan, Peru, Italy, the UK, and Vietnam, to name a few, including on programs led by our own Jackson School faculty. A handful of you are graduating today engaged in our Study Away spring break in Washington, D.C., where you immersed yourself in the foreign policy making process and networked with UW alumni and others working in areas ranging from security and defense to human rights, to technology, international governance, energy policy, environmental issues, and trade. A number of you here today may have received a UW Foreign Language and Area Studies Fellowship, one of the most competitive federally funded and prestigious fellowships in our field, providing incredible domestic and study abroad experiences. You should be proud of this accomplishment. The class of 2026 in its entirety, studied over 20 languages, ranging from Arabic, Persian, Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Indonesian, Vietnamese, Hindi, Urdu, French, Spanish, Russian, and Portuguese. Among those earning a BA today, 86 of you participated in the Donald C. Hellman Task Force Capstone Program. You developed policy responses that addressed challenges under the titles of autonomous weapons systems, drones, and the future of conflict, indigenous and international relations in a warming Arctic, averting war, Taiwan and US relations, geoeconomics of the deep, governing power, resources, and biodiversity in the high seas, China's space diplomacy around the world, and US soft power after Trump. In our other capstone, 27 of you dove into complex text and produced well-researched articles, a lengthy paper in our advanced reading seminar. One of you completed both task force and the advanced reading capstone. That's incredible. Some of you in our undergrad programs engaged in internships during your studies that took you to Washington, D.C., China, and Japan, just to name a few. While learning a language is a requirement to graduate, at least 6 of you studied 2 languages, 3 of you pursued 3 languages. It's a comfort to know that among those undergraduates before us today, our next generation of global advocates and leaders can use their language skills to propel the world forward. 9 of you conducted honors research and writing projects, with 6 of you in Jackson School departmental honors and 3 of you in the UW's interdisciplinary honors. This year's departmental honors cohort engaged in a wide range of international research, including competing claims to represent the Korean people that became the foundation of emerging North and South Korean states, China's pivot toward AI development as a driver of rejuvenation, the techno-solutionism and market logic of Palantir and other AI technology companies, the legibility of Ethiopian infrastructure projects in Addis Ababa, and the Mexican Twitter communications related to recent femicide trials. Whatever path you may have taken from the moment you started at the Jackson School until today, you contributed to an unbelievably rich intellectual environment on this campus. A Bachelor of Arts means that you have studied widely across the humanities and social sciences, and you've proven yourself to be a critical thinker with a tremendous range of tools at your disposal. Now, for those of you who have completed a Master's of Arts, you've conducted original and innovative approaches to global issues. A master's signifies that you've developed expertise in multiple research methods. Not all of our MAs are required to complete a formal thesis, but each of you will graduate with a heightened understanding of your chosen fields of study. This year's research explored topics as diverse as the representation of displaced populations through the Refugee Olympic Team, contemporary Japan-North Korea relations and Japanese political reform, North Korea and Russia's strategic alignment during the war in Ukraine, Chinese financial influence across post-Soviet Eurasia, the experiences of Iranian Americans in political dissent in Iran, democratic protest movements in Georgia, memory and identity among Punjabi diaspora communities in North America, disability justice and anti-colonial translation in Southeast Asia, and the role of menstrual regulations in early Buddhist monastic traditions. We do an awful lot in the Jackson School. This is just a snapshot of the incredible range of your expertise and the important contributions you are making to our understanding of the world. You've completed the arduous task of data collection, analysis, and writing, a significant work of scholarship that's not limited to synthesizing or analyzing the work of others. You've made a unique contribution to our collective understanding of world issues. You've demonstrated a capacity that is invaluable across the public and private sectors, the ability to identify a question worth asking and deploy a social scientist research tools to find answers. Now, 2 of you this year completed the very long journey that is a PhD dissertation, and you now hold the highest credentials that our institution bestows. You've demonstrated a real commitment to the idea that knowledge matters and that true understanding only comes with patience and enduring curiosity. Your research reflects the Jackson School's highly interdisciplinary nature that combines applied areas in global studies, history, politics, and questions of justice. Through years of original scholarship, each of you has analyzed and researched some of the most pressing issues shaping our world today. Becoming experts in your respective fields, one of you is now an expert in geopolitical and economic forces transforming the Red Sea region, while the other has gained mastery in the experiences of migration, border regimes, and struggles for migrant justice. By tackling complex questions of power, security, mobility, and human dignity, your work advances our understanding of both regional dynamics and global systems. You both now join a distinguished community of scholars whose research contributes new knowledge and perspectives to the world. Wherever your path leads you next, you hold a title that will always signify that you are first and foremost scholars. So today is one of those rare days when all of you, simultaneously as a group, begin a new phase of your lives. By spending your time as a student here in the Jackson School, you've demonstrated two things: that you care about challenges that face all of us, whether it's climate change, political extremism, challenges to international institutions, human rights, migrant justice, diplomacy, or managing the global economy, or understanding emergent technologies. And you've demonstrated that you have the intellect and the spirit to address those challenges. So as your cohort moves on from the Jackson School, please know that we wish you well. We believe in your ability to use your education to make a difference. You should be very proud of yourselves. The rest of the Jackson School community admires all that you have achieved and looks forward to your next chapter. Now, every year during our convocation ceremony, we extend an invitation to a distinguished speaker who exemplifies the best of what we do, the ethos, the significance, and the values of the Jackson School. So the individual chosen as the Jackson School Distinguished Speaker demonstrates a deep commitment to our students and has served as a source of inspiration for all of us for quite a while. So it's really my honor to be able to say that this year, Professor Rishat Kasaba is our distinguished speaker. You have to stay put for one more minute. Rishat is an expert in the history and politics of the Middle East at the Jackson School. For over 30 years, Rishat has been a dedicated teacher, a public intellectual, and an academic leader. Multiple generations of Jackson School students have been introduced to international studies when they took Rishat's undergraduate and graduate foundations classes. For many of them, he shaped their understanding of the world and their careers, as evidenced by the fact that he holds a UW Distinguished Teaching Award, this university's highest honor, recognizing exceptional educators with a deep commitment to student learning and innovative instruction. Rishat saw the Jackson School through a decade as director of the school, a decade that included 9/11, the explosion of the internet, the earliest days of the COVID pandemic. He's held leadership roles that have defined this intellectual field, serving as a board member of the Middle East Studies Association of North America and a president of the Association of Professional Schools of International Affairs. Rishat earned his master's and doctoral degrees in sociology from the State University of New York at Binghamton. I would definitely encourage you to take a minute to read a little bit more about Rishat and his impressive contributions in the Convocation program. So with that, it is now my great honor to introduce Professor Rishat Kasaba, this year's distinguished speaker.
Thank you very much. When Danny asked me if I would be interested in addressing this convocation, I immediately said yes. Then I started wondering what I could say. Typically, people who give these kinds of speeches utter some words of wisdom derived from their own experience and then add some humor. I can do humor, but I don't know about wisdom. So these are meant to help you as you move on to your next phase of your lives and lighten up some of the uncertainties that await you. I quickly realized this would not be a good place for me to start. For one thing, I am a boomer. I represent a generation that has not been very successful in solving the problems of our world. I also know from experience that intergenerational advice never works well. You probably heard or experienced, or maybe even practiced, that most teenagers, when they become teenagers, stop talking to their parents. A friend of mine who's a college professor and was trying to help his daughter with college applications was told by her that he should stop because he did not know anything about colleges. So I decided that some humility might be in order here. I don't intend to tell you what you should or should not do with your lives. Instead, I will start by reminding you what a special group of graduates you are, and use this occasion to express my gratitude to you and then share some of my thoughts with you. I probably won't be able to help myself and give you some advice at the end, but we'll see. As students in our undergraduate and graduate programs, you come to us because you want to learn about the world. And most of you want to put your knowledge to practical use, here in Washington, D.C., or elsewhere in the country or the world. You come to us because in the Jackson School, we study the world. Not just to satisfy our curiosity about how things came to be the way they are, but also why they turned out the way and what we can do about them. Answering why questions, as we always urge you to do, especially in your introductory courses such as mine, allows us to see where things went wrong or right and have a good grasp of our world. For example, we explore why Haiti is so much poorer and less stable than the Dominican Republic, even though the two countries are located on the same small island. Or we study why the world stumbled and sleepwalked into a long period of wars and crises in 1914, even though no one wanted war and no one expected to happen. Exploring why questions can have benefits other than understanding historical events or contemporary problems. It can even make you popular at places like the Thanksgiving table. Where else but in the Jackson School you can solve the mystery of why the much maligned bird of that holiday is named after a perfectly respectable country of Turkey, which also happens to my place of birth. And most importantly, in the Jackson School, we strive to breach the boundary between the classroom and the world. A very good example of how what we can learn in classrooms can have a direct bearing in our community, region, nation, and the world is the work some of you have done in our Human Rights Center. Thanks to you, the plight of immigrants and refugees and the horrible conditions in the ICE detention centers became a prominent topics of concern and cause for protest, not only here in our region, but across the nation, forcing our local leaders to pay attention. And whenever world events jolt us, as they have done recently in Israel, Palestine, Gaza, the West Bank, Lebanon, and Iran, you demonstrate an eagerness to learn, discuss, and most importantly, step in to make a difference whenever possible. Your unwavering commitment to make things better in these and other circumstances always gives us inspiration and courage. Compared to my early years, you are also a much more diverse group, notwithstanding the incessant vilification by our current government. Your diversity is a source of pride for us. This diversity brings another degree of urgency to our classes. Many of you have family and friends who are engulfed in violence and face calamities, including genocide, in different parts of the world. You keep us on our toes by writing, speaking, demonstrating, and demanding that we do as we preach, and act in a way that reflects our values. You tell us that we should not only study these faraway places, but also provide whatever relief we can. I am sure my colleagues will agree with me that every day we learn as much from you as we teach you. Earlier, I said I was reluctant to give you advice. In addition to being a boomer, I'm also challenged by our historical moment. The number and scope of problems we face seem to be multiplying every day, while we seem to be losing our creativity and imagination to deal with them. So, what I have to say next may have little value. Nevertheless, I will go out on a limb and make some observations about two related topics that dominate all conversations everywhere. These are digital technologies in general and artificial intelligence in particular. The astounding speed with which digital technologies are growing is making everybody, including the Pope, nervous. Remember that the very first text message was sent only in 1992 by using a phone that was not equipped to receive any response. And the first iPhone was sold in 2007. In less than 20 years, not only these technologies have come to dominate all aspects of our lives, but they have also created a big chasm between your generation and mine. A friend of mine from graduate school reminded me recently that as I was getting ready to travel overseas for my research, I was wondering whether I should bring my portable typewriter with me. I didn't. We keep trying earnestly, but we will never have the dexterity of your generation in handling new technologies. But nowadays, we all seem to be trying to catch up with technology, whose growth seems to recognize no boundaries. Paraphrasing the recurring antagonists of the Star Trek universe, the Borg, it seems that resistance is futile because our assimilation is inevitable. All we can and should do is to adapt. But is this really the case? Can we assert any control over the expansion of these technologies without appearing to become technophobes or Luddites? Historically, all new technologies go through a period of seemingly unrestrained expansion that resembles hostile takeover of society. Those of you who have taken my courses will remember, I hope, that during the Industrial Revolution in England in the late 18th century, 30%, roughly 1 out of 3 workers in textile factories were between the ages of 6 and 14. And that children as young as 5 were sent into coal mines because their small bodies easily fit in narrow spaces and tunnels underground. It was only through widespread societal reaction, protest, and persistent pressure that laws were introduced and guardrails were put in place that regulated work conditions. Today, even at this early stage of its development, we are already witnessing attempts to control the expansion of artificial intelligence. People are asking, what is the net social benefit of data centers that support artificial intelligence if these centers are going to occupy hundreds of acres of land and consume huge quantities of electricity and water? This is a perfectly reasonable question for all of us to ask. Cities and states as diverse as Texas, New York, Los Angeles, Utah, and our own Seattle are considering imposing moratoriums on the construction of data centers while their impact on the environment and natural resources is evaluated. We don't have to be anti-tech Luddites, but neither should we allow ourselves to be led to a dystopian future. There is no question that the new technologies of communication make our lives easier. They also make possible to organize and coordinate mass movements, as happened during the Arab Spring revolutions across the Middle East in 2011 and several occasions recently in the United States. On the other hand, it's also true that these new technologies are increasingly separating us from each other. Often, we prefer to text, email, Zoom, or follow others' conversations on various platforms from our lonely, safe spaces, which I also do very frequently. We believe we are supremely efficient if we accomplish all our tasks without talking to anyone, or ever leaving our homes. But this comes at a cost. Our world is becoming one where direct human interaction, not the casual encounters, but the purposeful face-to-face interaction where you listen to others with the goal of learning something about or from them, is becoming rarer by the day. As we are absorbed in our virtual world, we fall under the control of the algorithms that are being created for us. Obviously, being for or against these technologies does not make sense, since they have permeated all aspects of our lives. I want to remind you, however, that we still have control over most of our time, and we all have a limited time on this earth. And only we should be the ones to decide how we want to spend it. It may sound counterintuitive, but I find reading fiction an effective way of preparing myself to take on the challenges of the real non-fictional world. Fictional works allow me to understand and develop empathy for the lives and struggles of other human beings who are different from me. Here I will quote Zadie Smith, who is one of the greatest writers of the 21st century. She writes, "Compassion is largely a quality of the imagination. It consists of the ability to imagine what we would feel if we were suffering the same situation as the other person. It has always seemed to me that people without compassion lack a literary imagination. Great novels give us the capacity for putting ourselves in another's place and see that life has many twists and turns, and at any given moment we can find ourselves in someone else's shoes, suffering pain, poverty, oppression, injustice, and torture. So, here is an advice I am not reluctant to give. Read fiction. This is an old advice which was originally given to me by my father, so it aged well. So take it. Finally, a note about our historical moment, which involves a strange convergence between the country of my birth, Turkey, and the United States. Growing up in Turkey during the Cold War, I was surrounded by American consumer goods. American films, American music, and Americans. Peace Corps volunteers, teachers, soldiers serving on American and NATO bases, and tourists visiting or going through Turkey. Turks then regarded America as a lodestar. It represented a way of life that many people in Turkey admired and yearned for. In 1957, no lesser figure than the president of Turkey, Celal Bayar, confidently predicted that in 30 years, Turkey would become a small version of America. I moved to the United States as a young man, partly to escape the suffocating atmosphere of Turkey. Those were the years of political violence, military coups, and annihilation of all political and civil opposition in that country. After half a century, during which I have had a good life and a satisfying academic career in America, I find myself watching with a deep sense of anguish how this country is reversing its long-held traditions of freedom, and how even some of the top universities are buckling under pressure and altering what they teach and how they teach it. This is a scarily familiar environment for me. It is heartbreaking to see this country losing its protections that made it so attractive to people like me from all around the world. Obviously, President Bayar's prophecy did not come true, and Turkey did not become a small America in 1987. Alarmingly, however, the opposite seems to be happening, and the United States is becoming more like Turkey. In closing, and this is where I tell you what to do, I want to emphasize the crucial importance of protecting and enlarging the physical and intellectual spaces that allow us to ask questions, debate, disagree, and continue our pursuit freely. This is the only way in which we can maintain our hope and continue our explorations for another 50 years or more. Thank you very much.
Told you he was good. Thank you, Rashad. Thank you for that. So at this point, I am very pleased to introduce Professor Celia Lau, who is the Director of Graduate Programs and will present the graduate students.
All right. Hello, everybody. It fills me with great pride and pleasure to present to you this year's graduating PhD and master students. We turn now to recognizing our graduating International Studies PhD students and their faculty advisors. I now introduce Jackson School Professor Angelina Godoy, who will recognize Carlos Inez Navarro, who is receiving their PhD in International Studies.
Thank you. This is such an exciting moment. I want to take just a few words to tell you why we should all be so excited for Carlos. His dissertation title is Illegalized Bodies, the Architectures of Debilitation, Capture, and the Emergence of Migrant Justice. And I want to say in just a few words, because I don't have more time and I could talk about him for a very long time because he merits that, some of the reasons why I admire Carlos's work so much. It's particularly innovative in that it derives insights from Carlos's own years at the forefront of the movement for migrant justice and his experiences as a migrant himself, but integrates those with cutting-edge theory from social movement theory, disability studies, and critical social theory writ large. Now, it's not uncommon for activists to find their way into academic spaces and to bring their real-world passions and research questions with them, as Carlos has done, but his work does so much more than that. He weaves together insights from global disability studies and abolitionist literature to offer a very powerful rejoinder to scholars, mostly from political science and sociology, who have long analyzed the success or failure of movements for immigrant rights through lenses that privilege the global North nation state, the United States or European countries in particular, over the aspirations and understandings of migrants themselves. This is work that you will see in publication soon, and when you do, I encourage you to read it because it will expand your own understanding of the world we live in powerful ways. So felicidades, Carlos, and I have the distinct honor, I think, of bestowing upon you this envelope. Yeah, we don't have, also a hood. Okay, I will now bestow upon you an imaginary hood. Carlos, you are now a doctor of
No, sorry. I didn't come with my thing.
Okay, well, okay.
I now introduce Jackson School Director and Professor Danny Hoffman, who will recognize Yasir Zaiden, who who is receiving their PhD in International Studies.
All right, this is fun. So, Yasser Zaidan's dissertation title is Contested Waterfronts, Port Imperialism and Insecurity in the Red Sea. There is no such thing as an easy dissertation or an unemotional one. But I do have to say that in 2 decades of teaching, I don't think I've seen a scholar for whom the process of writing a dissertation was quite this wild. Just to give you a scale of this achievement, here's what happened since Dr. Zaidan started his journey. COVID, marriage, the birth of 2 children, unfortunately a devastating civil war and evacuation, and many, many panicked phone calls from his advisor. Despite all of that, or maybe because of it, he has produced an amazing, truly interesting and transformative work of scholarship. Yasser has dedicated incredible time and energy to exploring the dynamics of port cities around the Red Sea, the transformation of this incredibly important region. This is work that is really at the cutting edge of our knowledge of international studies and international affairs. And my friend, I just want to say that I have so thoroughly enjoyed working with you, learning from you, and laughing with you. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. All right, let's do this thing. Thank you. All right.
Congratulations to our new Doctors of Philosophy. We will now celebrate our master's degree graduates. Students, when your name is called, that is your signal to stand up. Our event staff guides will indicate the pathway to line up at the ramp, and please be sure to bring your name card. After you receive your diploma, you will cross the stage, go down the stairs, and follow the pathway back to your seats as indicated by our event staff. I am now pleased to introduce Jackson School Associate Professor Stephen Myers, who will recognize the students receiving their master's degree in international studies.
All right. It is my pleasure to introduce or to present the Masters of International Studies. Having some technical problems right now. Okay. And they're being solved.
The previous graduate was Regina Marie Detmer. And we're welcoming Steph Driscoll. Please welcome Adam Hackerl. And
here comes Justin David Hirsch. Our graduate is Rachel Ketola. Next up, please welcome Carissa Isabel Bautista Nolasco. And our next graduate, Susie Wu.
I'm now pleased to introduce Jackson School Professor David Bachman, who will recognize the students receiving their master's degree in China Studies.
I am now pleased to introduce the graduates in the MA program in China Studies.
Our first graduate is Xiyuan Huang. Congratulations to Ziren Zhang.
Congratulations. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Where are we? I present to you the MA in Comparative Religion class of 2026.
We congratulate Joyita Das.
Yes. It's entirely up to you. I would. No. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Can I do the same?
Oh, no.
Okay.
I'm now pleased to introduce Jackson School Professor Robert Pekkanen, who will recognize students receiving their master's degree in 2 programs, starting with those in East Asia Studies.
Okay. I present to you the inaugural MA in East Asia Studies class of 2026.
Congratulations to Maisel Ashlyn Carney.
Congratulations. You're the first.
That's it, Robert.
In my role as Chair of Japan Studies, I am now pleased to recognize the students receiving their master's degree in Japan Studies.
Please welcome Nicholas Andrew Brown.
Congratulations. Third degree. Well done.
And here is Jasper Howald.
And fifth degree. Congratulations.
Thank you so much for everything.
No, that's it, okay. I am now pleased to introduce Jackson School Assistant Professor of Korea Studies, Haejin Jun, who will recognize the students who are receiving their master's degree in Korean Studies.
I now present to you the MA in Korean Studies class of 2026.
Please congratulate Subin Park. And our next graduate is Krisha Ellen Simon.
I now am pleased to introduce the Jackson School professor, Professor Rashat Kasaba, who will recognize students receiving their master's degree in Middle East Studies.
I now present to you the MA in Middle East Studies class of 2026.
And this year's graduate is Sara Mojib Shirazi.
I am now pleased to introduce the director of the Center for European, Russian, and Eurasian Studies, Guntis Schmidjens, who will recognize the student receiving their master's degree in Russian, East European, and Central Asian Studies.
I now present to you the MA in Russian, East European, and Central Asian Studies class of 2026.
Please give it up for Rusudan Kunchulia.
I now present to you the MA in Russian, East European, and Central Asian Studies, class of 2026. Oh, sorry, we did that one. Sorry, we did that one. Okay, I'm now pleased to introduce the Jackson School professor Anand Yang, who will recognize students receiving their master's degree in South Asian Studies.
I now present to you the MA in South Asian Studies, class of 2026.
Our first master's graduate is Pavandeep Singh Josan.
You got a phone call. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And congratulations to Karthik Mali.
Congratulations.
I now present to you the MA in Southeast Asian Studies, class of 2026.
Our first graduate is Caitlin Avis. Congratulations to Ming Ian Do.
I could take it over. I'm really pleased to introduce Ranga Rasyed.
Huggy hugs.
And the mic was out for Eden Kwa. Where are you, Eden? Yay! Sorry about that.
Okay, so we get a brief reprieve from that microphone. So it is at this point my pleasure to introduce you to the Jackson School, Jackson School Associate Professor Stephen Myers, Director of Undergraduate Programs, who will present this year's Convocation Student Awards.
All right, thank you, Danny. So let's now recognize the recipients of this year's Convocation Student Awards. We're going to start by focusing on annual awards granted by the Jackson School. And I've got some instructions, so I'm going to invite each awardee to join me on stage. I'm going to also ask that you stay on stage until we get everybody up here. And I'm going to ask all of you to hold your applause until we get to the end. So our first award is the Graduate Book Award. The Graduate Book Award is a prize of $500 awarded every year to the graduating master's student with the highest cumulative GPA. This year, the award will go to Steph Driscoll. And Steph is graduating with a master's degree in international studies, and she has a GPA of 4.0. Yeah. Thanks. Now I'm going to present the Undergraduate Book Award. The Undergraduate Book Award is a prize of $500 awarded every year to the graduating student with the highest cumulative GPA. This year, we have 4 recipients, all of whom complete their degrees with a cumulative GPA of 3.97. And the award will go to Haley Earls, an international studies major. So Haley, if you're here, you need to join me on stage. Tomo William Kunz-Taguchi, a dual major in international studies, Asian studies, and Japanese. So Tomo, come on up. I'm also going to ask Carly Jo Rogers, a dual major in international studies and law, societies, and justice, and a minor in French. She is here. And then lastly, Nora Van Rees is a dual major in international studies and law, societies, and justice, and a minor in Latin American and Caribbean studies. We have more awards. We still have more awards to go. All right, I'm now going to present the Best Undergraduate Honors Thesis. Every year, the Jackson School Honors Program confers high honors and an honorarium of $500 to the thesis nominated by faculty mentors and reviewed by the Jackson School Honors Committee. This year, the program is pleased to present the honorarium to 2 exceptional examples of scholarship. The committee praised their research designs, which approached questions from different angles, perspectives, and types of data, all while tying them together to create a full story. The recipients of the Honors Award are Naomi Hancock, whose thesis title is Understanding How Infrastructure Investment Shaped Donor Financing in Post-2005 Ethiopia. Naomi investigated how domestic politics in Ethiopia relate to the willingness of foreign donors to extend aid. Is Naomi here? No? Okay. The second one will go to Isabel Ann Hewlin, whose thesis title is The Korean War and the Establishment of National Legitimacy. Isabel's archival approach generated a unique data set that yielded access to a structure of feeling driving Korean conceptions of the people. So, come on up. Wait till you get here. All right. Okay. And lastly, I would like to announce the Hellman Award to recognize the Hellman Award winner. The Donald C. and Marjorie S. Hellman Scholar Award provides a $5,000 stipend to support the education and training of a Jackson School undergraduate major in their senior year, with demonstrated excellence in international studies, clear interest in a career in international affairs, with a strong and creative commitment to promoting the international public good. The International Studies graduating recipient for 2025-2026 goes to Nora Van Rees. She's here on stage. And Nora is graduating with a bachelor's degree in international studies and law, society, and justice, and a minor in Latin American and Caribbean studies. So let's give all of them a big round of applause as they go to their seats. Okay. So many of our graduates have accomplished so much during their time here at the University of Washington. So I also want to take a moment to acknowledge all of those who have received awards this year from across the university or through the college, and both our graduate and undergraduate award winners. So I'm going to ask at this time to stay in your seats, but to stand up, awardees of the Dean's Medal nomination, which would be Jaya. Get up there. All right. Mortarboard alumni or Tolo Foundation scholars, Fulbright scholars, our Husky 100 winners, our Mary Gates Research Scholars, got another one, our Critical Language Scholarship awardees, our Foreign Language and Area Studies Fellows, got more, our Jackson School Internship Scholars, and anyone else who has gotten an award. We'll stand up. All right. Thank you. You can sit down now. You can sit down now. All right. Now I'm going to introduce the Jackson School Student Award, or those that will be giving out the award. Every year, the Jackson School Student Association awards a Student Service Award for a staff or faculty member at the school who shows outstanding dedication to student learning and community. Before introducing the names of the officers who will be presenting the award, I want to acknowledge the 6 JASA officers who are graduating today. And as I say your names, please stand up where you're seating. So first, I'd like Sejal Untol. President of JASA. Next, Kalisha Dent. Please stand up. Kalisha is the Vice President. Christine Leek. Christine. Co-Director of Academics. Ava Lockman, Co-Director of Academics. Ava, sorry about that. Sanvi Rita Mudpa, Co-Director of Public Relations. Got Sanvi. And Hanya Shu, Co-Director of Careers. Okay, so thank you, 6, for so much that you do for the Jackson School. You're the glue that holds us together. So thank you. And now I have the pleasure of introducing, in order of appearance, the current JASA officers who will present the award. So first is Ailey Goodman Callender, Co-Director of Public Relations. Come on up. Nadia Shadesky, Co-Director of Logistics. And Jackson Cavum, Co-Director of Careers. Jackson. And they're going to briefly talk about JASA, what the award means, and what is outstanding about this year's recipient. So I'm going to turn it over to you.
Okay. Thank you. Each year, the Student Service Award is presented to a faculty or staff member who exemplifies an outstanding commitment to students' education and overall experience at the Jackson School. This year, the Jackson School Student Association is proud to honor a staff member whose warmth, enthusiasm, and unwavering dedication have left a lasting impact on countless students.
One student described this staff member as someone who always shows up for students, noting that it is so obvious how much she cares for her students and UW. Another shared that she goes above and beyond the role of a typical academic advisor, fostering connection through her caring, encouraging, and energetic approach. Many students echoed a common sentiment, that her support extends far beyond academics, helping students build confidence, find opportunities, and feel a true sense of belonging within the Jackson School community.
We are honored to present this year's Student Service Award to Sabrina Tata. Sabrina truly embodies the core values of the Jackson School through her commitment to student success, mentorship, and community building. Whether advising students on academics, scholarships, awards, or supporting them through challenges, Sabrina's impact is felt far beyond graduation and continues to shape the lives of the students she serves. At this time, we would like to invite Sabrina to the stage to present this award. Congratulations on the 2026 Jackson School Student Service Award. Thank you so much, Sabrina.
Okay, congratulations, Sabrina, and thank you, Jackson School Student Association, for that. All right, so wonderful. Our school director, Danny Hoffman, will now introduce the recipient of our flagship award, the Jackson Leadership Award. So, Danny?
Thank you very much. So since 1986, which was our 40th anniversary, we've selected a student from our graduating seniors to receive the Jackson School Leadership Award. The awardees must distinguish themselves not only by maintaining an excellent academic record, but also by setting an example for fellow students through involvement in projects that help the community and inspire peers. The recipient is recognized at the Convocation and receives a stipend of $5,000. So it's with great pleasure and pride that I introduce you to the Jackson School Leadership Award recipient, Nora Van Ries. So Nora is graduating as a double major in International Studies, Law, Societies, and Justice, with a minor in Latin American and Caribbean Studies. Throughout her time at the Jackson School and the UW, her passion for international issues and use of her skills to support vulnerable groups, research excellence, and leadership has stood out. This spans everything from training 6 undergraduates in the value of data sovereignty and ethical research practices through the UW Center for Human Rights, to digitizing and returning board records to survivors and their descendants as part of the Puyallup Family Data Reclamation Project, to writing grant proposals which help communities realize their own goals, to co-authoring research advocating for vulnerable women, working with human rights organizations here in the area and abroad, and much more. So at the UW, she received an impressive handful of honors, academic and internship scholarships, and fellowships. Some of these include being named the Donald C. and Marjorie S. Hellman Award Scholar for Excellence in International Studies, UW Center for Human Rights Fellow, the Neil and Helen Fausine Endowed Academic Scholarship, UW Mary Gates Research Scholar, and Husky Leadership Certificate, again, just to name a few. Her activities did not interfere with her pursuit of excellence in her studies, and she will be graduating with a 3.97 cumulative GPA. In the fall, Nora, I am very happy to say, will continue with the Jackson School to further her academic career as she pursues an MA in International Studies. So please help me welcome Nora.
Good morning, and thank you for the lovely introduction. How is everybody? Good. My name is Nora Van Rees, and I'm really honored and grateful to stand up in front of all of you today. If you told me 3 years ago that I would be giving the speech for the Jackson School, I probably wouldn't believe you, since I didn't even know about the International Studies major. I want to share the story of how I came to be part of the Jackson School. Like many of you, studying abroad was one of the most important parts of my college experience. At the end of my first year, I studied abroad in Peru through a program with International Studies, Human Rights in Practice with Professor Megan McCloskey. And there's one night from this trip that I will never forget. We were in San Martin, which is a rural region in Peru close to the Amazon basin. Almost everyone in my cohort had food poisoning, and we were driving down a windy, unpaved road, which was not a good mix with the food poisoning. Eventually, we arrived at our hotel, and I remember when we got there, we were all gathered around this pit that was at the center of all of the rooms. It was like an emptied out pool. And above it, you could see the whole sky, the entire galaxy. And I had never seen something so beautiful. And it sounds strange that seeing the galaxy at a hotel in the middle of the Peruvian jungle was the reason that I joined the Jackson School. But in a way, it was. And I'm sure those of you in this room who were there shared the same feeling. When I sat under the stars, I felt like I was part of something that was bigger than myself. And that was the same feeling I had throughout my program, being a Spanish translator or planting trees in Moyobamba. The thing that was bigger than myself was service to others and to the world. When I was writing this speech, I thought of another experience I had studying abroad with the Jackson School. Last August, I had the pleasure of going to Jamaica with Professor Stephen Myers for the Disability, Aging, and Development program. But getting there was not easy in the slightest. I ended up getting stuck in Miami airport for 2 days, and there's not a lot to do there, surprisingly. One delay turned into 3, and I ended up having to fly to Montego Bay, which was across the country from Kingston, where I was supposed to go. Thankfully, Professor Myers hired a driver to take me from Montego Bay to Kingston, and he was incredibly kind. I even went grocery shopping with him for his family. It was fun. When I finally got to Kingston, Professor Myers was making me scrambled eggs, and my cohort was waiting for me with open arms. That's what the Jackson School is about: kindness. The kindness of my professor, of my peers, and of my lovely driver. My experiences studying abroad highlight the purpose of the Jackson School: to see ourselves as global citizens who are empowered to make impactful change that serves the public good around the world. We will all leave here today as better global citizens than we were before the Jackson School. We all know that academia can be transactional, and it can neglect the needs of the communities that it studies. Yet through studying abroad, task force, and rigorous coursework, the Jackson School has given us the tools to become better advocates and team players. Task Force is a capstone where groups of undergraduates focus on a specific policy issue, creating comprehensive reports with actionable recommendations. My task force, The Price of America First, U.S. Soft Power After Trump, where many of you are in the audience, for example, proves that we as Jackson School students can set a new tone in the future of government, foreign policy, and research. One that emphasizes equity, justice, and empowerment instead of bigotry. There's a Dutch proverb that my grandpa would share with me that does a good job of describing what the Jackson School is all about. Wie goed doet, good ontmoet, meaning who does good meets well. That the goodness you put into the world will return goodness back to you. It's true that it can be hard to find the good in a world where there's often so much bad. But we in this room embody the good. It is now up to us to spread that goodness and kindness wherever we choose to go. I want to close by thanking my family, my friends, and my mentors for their love, support, and guidance. And I want to congratulate the 2026 graduating class. The knowledge we have gained through our studies at the Jackson School is sacred. But what perhaps is even more important is what we do with it. The achievement of that opportunity to shape the future is something that is truly worth celebrating. Again, congratulations to the 2026 graduates of the Henry M. Jackson School of International Studies. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Nora, and congratulations. All right, should we do it? I'm now welcome Associate Professor Stephen Myers, Director of Undergraduate Programs, to the podium for the presentation of undergraduates.
Okay, it's the main event. So I'm very pleased to welcome students who will receive their Bachelor of Arts degrees in International Studies, Asian Studies, Comparative Religion, European Studies, and Latin American and Caribbean Studies. And so a couple of things, a couple of notes, instructions. So please note, I guess this is for parents, that names are not presented alphabetically, so be ready with your cameras. Students, please remain seated until one of our staff members has signaled you to get up. And when you get up, make sure you have your name card. And please follow the guided pathway around the room to line up at the ramp. So we're going to do kind of a long path there. And after you receive your graduation envelope, you're going to cross the stage, go down those stairs, and you will be directed on another circuitous path back to your seats. Okay. Otherwise, yeah, congratulations. We're going to present our undergrads. I don't know why we make them walk so far.
Arriving after a long walk is Adam DeMello.
Thank you.
Here comes Isaac Parker Lamb. Graduating International Studies, Sydney Longhurst. Another graduate in International Studies, Vivian Lin-Zhi Wu. Another IS major, Jessie Cree Rose Lacrosse Lambert. Happy to introduce Ella Mayer. And here comes Mir Mattia Ottaviani. Congratulations to Hadley Steele. Our next graduate is Haley Hellenkamp. Congratulations to Tyan Knight. Graduating with International Studies degree, Ava Lockman. Our next graduate is Paulina Jimenez Prechtel. Please welcome Daphne Alabama Becker. And you've seen her before, Nora Allen Van Rees. Congratulations to Naya Shiel Ancorn. Please welcome Leo Friedman. And our next graduate, please welcome Jaya Field. Congratulations to Christine Elise Leek. Graduating in International Studies is Sejal Breed Kaur Antal. Our next graduate, please welcome Claire Gersich. Welcome to Sabrina Chun. Graduating in International Studies, Hampton Kay. Warm congratulations to Penelope Hendricks. And congratulations to somebody graduating in European Studies, Eleanor Irene Finney. An International Studies major, Dea Sarmiento. Welcoming in European Studies, Malia Page. An International Studies major, Lisette Gonzaga Passion. Graduating in Comparative Religion is Kalila Kalani. And graduating in Latin American and Caribbean Studies, Catalina Marisol Rosa Caputo. An International Studies major, Catherine Huber. Graduating in IS again, Aurora Manzur Montelongo. And please welcome Eli Labby. An International Studies major, Caleb Chan. Please welcome Brett Polinger. Graduating International Studies, Charles Ventanilla. Please welcome our next graduate, William Vanderbert. Also an International Studies major, Dora Kosu Javara. Congratulations to Andrew Weber. Our next graduate, Aidan Hood. An IS major, please welcome Bathsheba Queenan. Also graduating in International Studies is Miku Reed. Please give it up for Caden Paul Leonard. And warm welcome to Priya Kara. Graduating in International Studies, Anna Phillips. Our next graduate, warm welcome to Sanvi Reddy Mutpa. Graduating in International Studies, please welcome Kalisha Dent. Warm congratulations to an Asian Studies major, Isabel Ann Hewlin. Graduating in International Studies, Julianne Fender. Also graduating with an IS degree, Brandon Hernyak. Please give it up for Grace Sheehan. Our next graduate, warm welcome to Allison Kathleen Stern. And we are very proud of our graduate, Isabella Jimenez. Graduating in Asian Studies, congratulations to Samuel Anthony Lastowski. A European Studies major, here is Nate Trimble. Graduating in International Studies, please welcome Kira Kaler. An International Studies major, Kathleen Landrum Larkin. And another International Studies major, Lillian Zhong. Please welcome our next graduate, Hui Gutman Nguyen. And another International Studies major, Jan Chen Wernick. Graduating in International Studies, Sukjun Lee. And here comes a European Studies major, Kian Vasilkov. Graduating in International Studies, congratulations to Carrie Wong. And following her, congratulations to Elsa Anders. Graduating with an IS degree, Ryan Gunnarsson. An International Studies major, Chen Bo Shun. Another International Studies major, congratulations to Hao Yang Yu. Please Please welcome our next graduate, Ju-Young So. Graduating in International Studies, Mariana de Toledo Aguiar. An International Studies major, please welcome Olivia Morgan. Graduating with an Asian Studies degree is Mimi Martin. Our next graduate, please welcome Tomo William Kunz Taguchi. Graduating with an IS degree is Miyu Isaka. Please welcome our next graduate, Connor Tiaxiang Yang. Graduating in International Studies is Alex Atkins. Graduating with an International Studies degree, please welcome Albert Wong.
This is for my YouTube channel. I have a little YouTube channel already. Thank you.
Please give it up for Benjamin Chung. Graduating in International Studies, Margaret Amarachi Uzoma. With a degree in International Studies, please welcome Eric Schaefer. And our next graduate is Jacqueline Tobar. Graduating in International Studies, Moral Saikana. Also an IS major, please welcome Getzebereket Kefialo. With an IS degree, please welcome Hyoil Kim. Our next graduate is Hui Chan. Graduating in International Studies, Griffin Hubner. Please welcome our next graduate, Hannah Tan. Followed by another International Studies major. Please welcome Sophia Murphy. With an IS degree, here comes Luke Chick. Our next graduate, please welcome Hallie Earls. Please welcome Joshua Bennett Pilcher. And warm congratulations to International Studies major Naomi Hancock. Last but not least, graduating in comparative religion, Erin Salih.
It's fun, isn't it? All right. So, thank you. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming today. I want to end with a brief final congratulations. As we wrap up, I want to remind you, please stop by our faculty program representatives to say goodbye. Get some refreshments in the rooms to the left and the right. They'll open up there. We've got plenty of things to keep you going for a little while. And I just want to say one more time, congratulations to all of our graduating undergraduate and graduate students. I also just want to offer a special thanks to our faculty for the outstanding work that they do with our students. Just a quick recognition that this event doesn't happen without a lot of support from the fantastic Jackson School staff. So thank you all very much for everything you do. And last but not least, and maybe most importantly, congratulations to our students' families and friends. Those of you who could attend the convocation in person or online. This is a really important day. And it's as important for you all as it is for our students. So we want to thank you for your love, your invaluable support, and all of the sacrifices that you all make to ensure that your student graduates today. So thank you and congratulations, Jackson School Class of 2026. All right, let's eat.